President Donald Trump had another, previously undisclosed conversation with Russian President Vladimir Putin at a summit at Germany. White House spokesman Sean Spicer and National Security Council spokesman Michael N. confirmed that Trump and Putin spoke privately at a dinner for world leaders and their spouses at the Group of 20 summit in Hamburg, Germany. The conversation came hours after their first official meeting on July 7, which was originally scheduled to last just half an hour, but stretched on for more than 2. Trump and Putin were also captured on video shaking hands and exchanging a few words after they arrived at the G20 summit of industrialized and developing nations. Anton would not specify the duration of the meeting, but he said the discussion was casual and should not be characterized as a meeting or even a less formal, but official, pulled aside. A conversation over dessert should not be characterized as a meeting, he said. A few leaders had their translators with them, but no other delegates attended the dinner, he said. Trump and Putin's relationship has been under scrutiny since the election campaign, when Trump repeatedly praised the Russian as a strong leader and publicly encouraged him to hack then-rival Hillary Clinton's emails. Trump aides have since said he was joking. U.S. intelligence officials have concluded that the Russian government meddled in the 2016 election in order to help Trump. Trump has repeatedly cast doubt on their findings and dismissed investigations into potential collusion between his campaign and Moscow as a witch hunt. The House Republicans unveiled Building the Better America, their budget plan for 2018, Tuesday. The bill and its estimates assume that the Congress fully repeals and replaces President Obama's Affordable Care Act. The House Budget Committee says their proposal will balance the budget within 10 years. Budget Committee Chairwoman Diane Black, R10, held the news conference summarizing the objectives of the bill. In past years, the budget has only been a vision, but now, with a Republican Congress and a Republican White House, this budget is a plan for action, Black said. This is a plan to balance the budget, spurs economic growth, it secures our national defense, it returns power to the states, and it holds Washington accountable. Black has announced the committee will vote on the budget plan Wednesday. The ranking member of the House Budget Committee, John Yarmuth, DKY, called the plan disastrous in a tweet Tuesday. It embraces the worst extremes of the Trump budget, sacrificing nearly every investment that helps American families get ahead, in order to give huge tax breaks to millionaires and corporations, Yarmuth said in a statement. Here are 5 things you should know about the GOP budget blueprint. The budget sets spending for 2018 at $1.132 trillion according to the budget document. Spending allotments are divided into 2 parts. The first is defense discretionary spending, of which $621 billion from the budget allotment is dedicated. The second is non-defense discretionary funding. The bill sets aside $511 billion for these costs. $203 billion in mandatory savings. The bill aims to balance the budget in 10 years and asks 11 House committees to achieve $203 billion in mandatory savings and reforms. To accompany this request, the bill asks the House Ways and Means Committee to create deficit-neutral tax reform, aimed at reducing tax rates and simplifying the tax code. The bill also states it will achieve $6.5 trillion in deficit reduction and a surplus of $9 billion by 2027. The projected deficit this year is $700 billion. Proposes reforms to the tax code. The GOP plan proposes simplifying the tax code, consolidating 7 individual income tax brackets, repealing the alternative minimum tax, lowering corporate tax rates and transitioning the tax code to a territorial system. The plan would then devote $300 billion from that estimated economic growth to tax reform efforts. Increases spending on national defense. The budget will allocate $621 billion in base funding for the military. $75 billion will go toward fighting the global war on terror and border security. Cuts and enforcements to spending programs. The budget proposes cuts to social safety net and domestic programs. It cuts $500 billion from Medicare costs and $1.5 trillion from Medicaid. Under the plan, future retirees would receive a fixed amount of money to purchase insurance. This plan also eliminates the ability to receive both unemployment insurance and disability insurance at the same time. The blueprint for the budget claims this would be the first step to preventing across-the-board benefit reductions to the Social Security program. This policy option could save up to $5.4 billion. It would also reform federal employee pensions by ending the special retirement supplement that pays federal employees the equivalent of the Social Security benefit at an earlier age. The budget would strengthen the temporary assistance for needy families (TANF) welfare work requirement. It would also enforce penalties to states that do not meet the work targets. It would reduce spending on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program (SNAP), formerly the Food Stamp Program, by restoring overall SNAP funding to sustainable levels. It also proposes stronger enforcement of the SNAP work requirement. The Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit programs will require and enforce proof of income and Social Security numbers for each child.